This video is going to focus on partial quotients division. Partial quotients division is just another algorithm for solving division problems. Let's take a look at a couple of these. Dive right in. Now, in order to do a partial quotients division problem, we need to kind of look at it in a different way. And the way that students have responded positively to in my classroom is to look at the divisor, 37, as a shark, and our dividend as a whale. We're playing a game of sharks and whales here. Now, the whale's obviously going to be bigger than the shark, at least most times it is, so it should be easy to remember which is which. So the one catch before you begin doing a partial quotients division problem is you need to do one special thing. Watch me. Make a line down. Doesn't have to go super far, just a few lines to get started. You can extend it as you need to extend it. And it almost looks like a hangman game in a way. So, 37 going into 201. Well, what I always like to do is start off with 10. 10 is a good, easy benchmark. So 37 times 10. I'm going to put 10 out here, because if it works, I'll keep it right there. What is 37 times 10? If you're having trouble with it, do a very quick lattice multiplication problem over here. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 3 is 3. And then, of course, zeros right here. 0 times 3 and 0 times 7. Now we just add diagonally. We're left with 370. Is 370 higher than 201? If the answer is yes, then you can't use 10 in this case. You can't do it. So let's get rid of this. It doesn't work. We're going to get rid of our 10 as well. So we need to go a lot smaller than that. Could we do 5? Here's the deal about math, folks. It's not always a one-step problem. In fact, oftentimes it's not. It takes several steps. You need to think it through. So let's think it through. We're going to see if 37 times 5 works. Is 185 smaller than 201? Sure is. Let's put 5 here. And then we put our difference, and we're going to subtract. Prep our workstation. Now we're ready to subtract. 11 minus 5 is 6. 9 minus 8 is 1. And of course 1 minus 1 is 0. So we're left with 16. Now, is the remainder smaller than your shark, your divisor? Sure is. So you just circle it. I tell my students to circle that remainder so you know I don't need to go any further. When you start to divide into the decimal, that rule will change, but for right now, it will not change. So we report as, we're just going to add whatever we collect on this side, which you'll see in the future examples, we're going to collect more. You'll add whatever it is, write it here, and then you're going to write your remainder over your divisor. You report remainders as fractions from now on. It's that simple. 201 divided by 37 is 5 and 16/37. Now that you know the process, let's trust the process. 517 divided by 43. Extend our yard arm here. Now, does 10 work? 43 times 10. Some of you can do this in your head. Humor us while we check our work here. I think it does, but let's just make sure. Checking my work, I know I'm correct, and of course zeros down here, anything times 0, 0. So adding it diagonally, We get 430. Is 430 smaller than 517? Sure is. So don't forget, let's put our 10 over here because it worked. We're going to keep it around. All right? And we're going to subtract. Oh, we still have this. This right here is still larger than our shark, our divisor. We can still take a big bite out of what's left of our whale. So let's do so. What do you think? We could do 1. Let's just play it safe. We'll do 1. Let's see where we're at. 1 times 43 is 43. And we are left with 44. Is this number larger than our shark? Yeah, that shark can still take a big bite out. Let's take it one more step. We're left with 1. We know that this is smaller, so we're going to stop. Let's extend our yard arm down here. Now, we're going to add, if you remember, we're going to add these to get 12. Now, what do we do with our remainder again? We put our remainder as the numerator, and we put our divisor, our shark, as our denominator. And teachers love it when you circle the answer, so we don't have to go around sifting through the mess in order to find it. Okay, last one here. Let's take a look at the last one here. This is where partial quotients really comes in handy. Okay, you could again go traditional division, and you could take 87 going into the first place value. And if it doesn't work, you go to the next place value, and on for traditional division. Now, if you're watching this video, you probably haven't been taught traditional division. But if you have been taught traditional division, you'll know the higher the numbers get, you can still see the repetition. You can still see the process if you trust it. With partial quotients, I personally find it easier when you get higher and higher. There's some wiggle room here. So, let's extend our yard arm. And I'm going to start with 10. You know I am, because it's a good benchmark to start at. 87 times 10. We've seen a pattern already before. If your shark, your divisor, is multiplied by 10, all you technically are doing is adding a 0 at the back. It's not so cut and dry when you start doing different math, but that's the basics. So let's stick with that idea. So 870 is lower than 2071, but I want to push you one more time. I want you to think, what about 87 times 20? What do you think? 87 times 20? Or are we just getting too far out? And sometimes you're going to find that no, that didn't work. Nice try. But at least now you know. So let's just check it out. It's worth a shot. Now we're going to add. Is 1,740 still lower than 2071? Absolutely is. So, let's make sure we write that correctly. Check your work. 1,740, 1,740. Okay. We can go ahead. You'll normally have enough paper to keep that. Teachers would want to see that work. But for here, we may need that space on our program here. Trust the process. Now you subtract. You're left with 331. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I did not change this to 20. Make sure you change this and make this accurate or you will be very confused. 87 times 20 is 1,740. That's a good catch. All right, 331. Well, play it safe. You could probably double that. Let's play it safe. Now that I'm ready to work, try it again, play it safe. $14 minus 7 is 7. Running out of room. 13 minus 8 is 5. We're left with 157. Now, in the interest of room here, I wonder if, I'm just going to check this out. 87 times 2. Oh, just missed out, so we are down to 1 now. Zero, and then 15 minus 8 is 70. Alright, try to circle that for you here. We're left with 70 as a remainder, which is lower than our shark still. So we can stop. Now, what do we do in the brackets? We add these. 22 and 70 87ths. And yes, that is a number. It's a mixed number, but it's a number indeed. I hope you enjoyed the practice. We'll do more in class. Good luck.